Hey guys, the WalterFootball.com After the Dark Show for March 9, 2025. Happy daylight savings time, everyone. We're going to get into the Geno Smith trade, the Ronnie Stanley re-signing. A bunch of re-signings happened today, actually. And then talk about some other stuff. As usual, we'll have some randomness thrown in on our Saturday show. Before we begin, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit the link in the description for the merch store. As always, I'm wearing something for the merch store. November is Sloth Month. Not sure why I'm wearing this in March, but I mean, you can wear it always. You can get this shirt and others at the merch store. I'll put that up in a second here. Yeah, so you can get this T-shirt and any other. And as I always say, that you can always change the color of these shirts. If you want to wear pink, that works. Actually, it doesn't look too bad in pink. Red probably bad because it cancels out the flag. But yeah, the point is you can click on any shirt, change the colors. And we have a bunch of shirts on here. Also, some mugs that we've done recently. Hindsight's 50-50, where some guy's flipping a coin. You cannot change the stripes of a leopard. That's the famous Emmett quote. I'm going to add some more as the months go on. But yeah, buying this stuff would help support the show. Also, buying my books would also do the same thing. My most recent one is Jerks of the College Years, where I made fun of people that I saw at Penn State for 6 years. So I had a lot of fun writing that. Also, how the 2020 MVP was stolen, which is an expose about how Brett Favre tried to sabotage Aaron Rodgers 4 years ago when Rodgers won the MVP. Completely true story. You will get a kick out of it if you read it. So a lot of revealing stuff in there. Also, consider super chats, super stickers. That's the best way to support the show. And our last episode, Degeneron, helped us out with super chat. Before that, it was John Sanders. We also had Slew, the boss. Cam McEagle, Alan Stafford. You guys have been so great with your contributions. I can't say that enough. Just really appreciate all the help because YouTube ads pay nothing. So, all right, we're gonna begin our show here with Quacky T, our guest for Saturday night. As always, Quacky, how's it going?
Walter, hello to you and hello to everyone out there in the Walter football family. It's daylight savings. When I was younger, man, I used to love when the days were longer. I would be so happy right now because we're going to move the clock forwards. I don't feel that way anymore. I like it when it stays darker or when it gets dark earlier. So I'm actually a little bummed about this because I don't know. I just feel like during daylight save, when we set the clocks forward, I'll be like, oh, it must be like 6 o'clock, and it's almost 8.
Mm-hmm.
You lose track of the time, or at least I do. Whereas now, when it gets dark around like 5:30 or so, you're like might be like, oh, it's 8 o'clock or something, and it's 6. So you have so much more of the day. So hey, what's up, Slew Armac? Thank you so much
Armac,
for the
$10 super chat. Thank you
yeah.
so much, Armac.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, there's no message attached to this, but really appreciate it. And if you have any
Thank you.
questions or any comments, we'll definitely read them right away. But thank you so much, Armac.
Yeah, appreciate it.
This is awesome. Thank you so much.
But do you think that's a result of like getting older? Like, do you feel that way too? I don't know. I actually prefer rainy days over sunny days. So I don't know. Maybe there's something.
Why?
Well, not maybe.
Why do you prefer rainy days? It's so inconvenient. Like you can't go outside without getting wet. Like you need to get your rain boots on and your umbrella. Like you feel
rain
like
boots.
You need extra things. I mean, if you're walking for a while,
Fair.
Once you have kids, it's terrible because you have to dress them up extra. You have to put more layers on them and stuff. Whereas if it's like a nice warm day, you could just put the shoes on and then just go out. So that is, I feel like. I think when you have kids, it changes. And so I'm like super anti-rain and snow now. If it's raining at all, and we don't have to go outside, I'm like, let's not go out. But Armac with the comment says, no problem. Been going to your website for years for mocks. Love the site. Thanks for all you do. Thank you so much, Armac, for reading and listening to the show.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, and again, thank you for the $10 super chat. Again, I can't say it enough. It just means a lot because YouTube will pay us like 80 cents for the show if we don't get any super chats. So it's really appreciated. No, but I think that once you have kids, it changes. Also, once you have kids, daylight savings time changes too because I mean, my son's 3, my daughter's 18 months. Like they don't know the clocks are moving. Like, I mean, my son knows, he asks like, what time is it sometimes? But like my daughter obviously has no concept of that yet. So like they're going to wake up as they normally do, but they're not going to understand that they're losing 1 hour of sleep. So it's a weird thing. So I just really want them to stay at like one, either pick daily savings time and stick with it, or stick
Yeah,
with
yeah.
standard time. I'd prefer daylight savings time because, unlike you, I'd rather it be darker later, because that way you get more daylight. And I think that,
Mm.
like, for people who work in offices from like 9 to 5, in December, January, they leave work, it's already dark, and I think that like leads to a lot of depression and stuff like that. So I think that having a later day for the entire year, I think that would be beneficial for people overall.
I don't disagree. I think you're probably right, but I don't know. I just don't really care for bright sunny days that much. I like when I get up in the morning, if it's like if it's raining. I mean, if it's torrential downpour, that's different, which does happen where I am, of course. But like if it's like a nice drizzle or like light rain, oh, like my mood instantly improves for the day.
Wow.
Like I get so excited. I'm like, it's going to be a great day, as opposed to like when it's a bright sunny day. I'm like, ah, damn it.
Wow. I'm like the opposite. I don't know. I mean,
Well,
my mood doesn't like really get affected, but I'm like, oh, okay, this is convenient now because I have 2 dogs. I have to take them out, and then the kids, and like I have to pick up my son, or like my son wants to go out and play, and like if it's raining, he can't go out, or I have to take my son to swim lessons. Like we have to get all dressed up. Like I said before, it changes when you have kids, but now for me, if I see it's sunny, I'm like, okay, this is great. If it's raining, it's like, oh, come on, this is annoying. I don't get why you hate sunny days. It just feels like
I don't hate them, but it's just like my mood really significantly. And I understand I'm the outlier here. Remember the arrangement we have. If you outlive me, then you got to make sure my brain gets donated to science.
That's right.
And then make sure you report the findings to everyone here on the show, because
oh, I will. Believe me, I will.
they probably need to know. They're gonna want to know, right? You guys, you'll
Yeah.
want to know.
Yeah, 100%. Why does this guy hate sunny days? Finally get the answer. Or actually, my 5-year-old yells at me when I put him to bed. It's still light. I think that's probably going to happen with my son this year. Like before, the year before, he wasn't quite 3 yet. So, and he still was in his crib, but like now he's in a big boy bed. He can actually get out of bed. So, it's going to be quite the challenge. Although the last 4 nights, I'll say this, that like he has been able to stay in bed. Like he hasn't gotten out yet. So, although he didn't go down for a nap, and that was kind of a crazy situation on Friday afternoon. Walter, is it always sunny in Philadelphia? No, it's always gray here. It's always gray and miserable.
What's up,
it is
Love
sunny
to Eat?
sometimes.
Thanks for joining, man.
Yeah, we'll say you guys in. I'm in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, right outside of Philly.
Yeah. I'm in Florida. I'm in Florida, so I get a fair share of both. Like especially in the summer, it rains here every single day. So at least for like a short while in the afternoon. But so I guess I get the. Sorry, I'm just noticing the 2 for $6 Big Mac deals.
What was that? Is that?
On the ads in the back, you've got what do we got there? Yeah, two for $6.
They have a bunch of stuff. They have looks like the chicken nuggets, filet of fish with like the weird white sauce. I always ask for like no weird white sauce, and like the guys at the counter, back when they had people at the counter, they like laugh at me because it sounds like I'm asking for like no something else. But like it looks like they have a bunch of stuff. I don't like any. Yeah, I don't like any sauces on my sandwich, like any burgers or filet of fish. Like I like them plain. Now sometimes I add ketchup and whatnot, but like, it's like, why not just get like, I feel like you should always have to ask for the sauce and you put it on, like, because taking the sauce off is way more difficult. Just feels like it screws over the people who don't like the sauce.
We've got a lot to address here. First, number one, you've eaten a filet of fish there before?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't like seafood, first of all, and like I can't even think about like eating a fast food fish sandwich. You ever go to Long John Silver's? I don't think does anyone have Long John Silver's near them? I haven't seen one in ever.
I think I have some. There's one around here. I've never been to one. But Penn State, we both went to Penn State, by the way. Penn State, they sometimes have fried fish sandwiches in the Commons, and I used to look forward to those. They were really good. So I'm a big fan of filet fish.
I just couldn't imagine. I mean, I don't eat seafood. I will do a shrimp. Actually, I had on Super Bowl Sunday, I ate a couple shrimps. So I am branching out. But I just couldn't imagine like one's like, oh, I want like some fast food. Like let's all head over to Long John Silver's. I bet. Did you frequent Long John Silver's? I bet you were in the Jolly Roger Club.
Red Lobster was that's why I went.
Red Lobster.
Cheddar made biscuits are awesome.
Oh yeah, they are good. You know what? When I was a kid, though, I'm just going to start giving my unfiltered thoughts here on the show. I used to break those garlic.
Like when when you weren't like when this happened. When did you not give your unfiltered thoughts?
I don't know. I don't know if that's going to gain us more viewers or scare them away, knowing that I have that I haven't been. No, but like I hardly ever went to Red Lobster because I didn't like as a kid because I don't eat seafood. But when I love everyone loves the garlic biscuits. I know I sure did. But for some reason, like my hands would break out in hives like the next day every time I ate them.
Really?
Yeah, it's like the only time I've ever had an allergic and it was definitely that because I realized because I think then you could buy them in the store like like you just bake them, how they have that sometimes.
Yeah,
and,
it's not the same though.
Yeah, really. It's not, but it's but whatever. Like it happened again because once, so I knew like that only ever happened to me like 3 or 4 times, and every time it was after eating those garlic biscuits. But I didn't care. I was willing to be itchy for a couple days. Those things are great, huh?
Oh,
it's
awesome.
worth it.
They're awesome.
It's worth it. I have not seen a Red Lobster for a while.
Well, I mean, a lot of them have gone out of business because the company was in trouble. And they had some like woke stuff attached to it, and there was backlash, and I think they lost some money that way. But when I was a kid, like going there would be such a big deal because that was my parents' favorite restaurant. So like any birthday we would go. And I've told the story before. I think I told this to you definitely on here. I used to order this fried shrimp special thing that they had where you could have like 12 or 18, and then it would come with either fries or mashed potatoes or whatever. And it used to just be called like the fried shrimp special or something. But I used to order it all the time. And then one day I come in and look at the menu and it's called Walt's favorite fried shrimp. I'm like, there's no way it's because of me, right? And like, because that's how I used to order. But like my parents made like a big deal about it. They're like, it's because of you, it's because you. And I was like 12 at the time. I was like, it's me, like.
Hold on. I think we need to do a little reverse engineering here and see if you can collect some royalties.
I probably should. Like this is all where the money went. It's just like in some account, like they have to give to me eventually, but I have to like contact the lawyer to get it. Like,
yeah. I don't know, man. I do some pro bono work for you. I do it. What's up? Can't make it evil. Yeah, he's telling me to move
this. Lawyer.
Yeah. I could. I mean, look, we're just going after a few $1 million. It's nothing I can't handle. Yeah. I wonder how many people ordered like the Walt's favorite shrimp. I mean, you think it was just at that location? Did you ever see it at another location?
I've been to a lot of Red Lobsters. They used to have one near Penn State. It was right outside of campus. And whenever my parents would come up, we'd go there. And so they'd have it there. They'd have it in both locations near me here. I once took one of my girlfriends. I took her to a Red Lobster like near her dorm where she lived. In like Millersville or something. I can't remember where she went to school, but we went there. That was like our first like real like restaurant date. I took her to Red Lobster. I was a college kid. This is a big deal.
There's nothing wrong with a Red Lobster date.
My buddy, if you're like a poor college kid. That was like actually a big deal. Like, this is a lot of money for me.
I can't believe the obsession with Red Lobster. My buddy told me this story once at the Penn State Student Union building. Remember they had that Panda Express?
Yeah.
One time he was waiting in the line there, like, and it was a really long line, and like these people got out of the line and they're like walking away, and the one guy's like, "I said we should have gone to Red Lobster."
It's a hike though. If you're Penn State, you have to drive.
Yeah, I remember. I've been to Red Lobster at Penn State, but they have like one chicken choice, and that's what I always get, like the chicken Alfredo, and I load up on biscuits.
See, I wouldn't know that because I've gotten Walt's favorite fried shrimp every single time I've gone there.
There's a lot of places. You know what? There's a lot of places to eat, man. How do all these places stay in business? It says a lot about how many people are eating out and like also how many people, like the population of any given area. And like we haven't even gotten into grocery stores. Like people who are cooking from home. How are all these places staying in business? Like little.
Well, they're not. According to Slew saying,
remember,
COVID lockdown killed a lot of restaurants.
Well, yeah,
Hooters just declared bankruptcy, so a lot of these restaurants are going out of business.
Yeah, I don't know how they all remember Little Pizza. Remember Little Caesars? How's Little Caesars staying in business?
Little Caesars. I think Little Caesars of like the chain pizza restaurants they're probably like
cheap option.
it's probably like in the upper tier, I would think. Like it's certainly better than Domino's. I know you work there, but I think it's better than Domino's. I think it's better than Pizza Hut now. Obviously not the Pizza Hut from the '90s, but right now, and like Papa John's, you could say, like back when Papa worked for them because they had the best ingredients, but like when Papa was fired, they went to like worse ingredients. So I think Little Caesars is better than them now too.
You think Caesars reigns supreme? I can't believe what I'm hearing.
I don't like any of these like big chain pizza restaurants.
But you
I always prefer like the local pizza joints because like their ingredients are actually fresh and they actually have like good food. But if I had to choose like a pizza chain to eat at, it would definitely be Little Caesars, like no question.
I have a buddy that said he'd rather chain smoke 30 packs of cigarettes than eat a Little Caesars pizza.
I think Little Caesars is like not that bad.
You like the crazy bread. The crazy bread's good.
Crazy bread's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, sure. I would go to Little Caesars. Maybe I'll order some crazy bread here on the air.
Yeah, love to eat this with me. Little Caesars really good for chain pizza, so is Godfather.
Wow.
I never had Godfathers. So
I don't think I have either.
Yeah, Hooters committed suicide. They went, yeah. Yeah, so, some of the I can't even say women that they hired. So some of the people they've hired, not the best. I actually used to know a girl who used to work at Hooters. She was like smoking hot, but she was, but like now, like if you like go to any Hooters, it's like it's definitely not the case anymore. Not that I've been the one, but I've seen pictures. I guess I don't know. I guess the last time I've been to Hooters, I think I was like 18. It's like I remember my friends and I went to watch the Flyers playoff game against the Devils, and the Devils actually won the game. But I think that's the last time I ever went into Hooters.
Really? I'm trying to think of here's the thing. Like, I like scantily clad women, I guess, just as much as the next guy, but like, I wouldn't want to be like, I don't know, maybe when I was like 18 or 19, I'm like, let's go to Hooters to see like the girls. I don't know. It's like, one time I went into a Hooters and there's like an old man there, just there, like talking to I don't know, like you're doing that at a Hooters.
Well, I feel like
I don't know. It just seems
it's for people who don't have money to go to a strip joint. You know what I mean? Like it's the same thing. It's the same premise. Like there's like attractive women supposedly who are there to make you feel special so that you spend money on them. It's the same thing.
Yeah, no, and I know that, but it's like this is gonna sound strange, but it's like I just feel like that novelty like almost wore off in a way. And I don't mean that quite literally, but it's just like, I don't know. I guess because like you can see like so much more like readily available like that, like on the internet if you want. It's like, why are you going to like pay for that experience? I feel like less people are willing to pay, the population as a whole is like less willing to pay for such an experience. I mean, the food's okay, I guess, but like, I don't know. I wouldn't, it's not that good.
I honestly can't remember how the food is. It's been so long.
Yeah.
But and who knows? Like maybe it's changed. Like, for example, Pizza Hut used to have good pizza, and like now it's terrible. But I think there's something to be said about seeing like a woman, up close, like in real person, in like real life, rather than a computer screen. So and plus, like a lot of the older people, they don't quite know where to go on the internet. So if you're like talking about like old men being there. You also see like old men at strip joints too. Like, maybe they just, I don't know, maybe they don't know where to look for porn or something. I have no idea, but
maybe they don't know where to look. Yeah, just get on any rectangle, man. You'll find it.
Yeah, Twin Peaks is the new Hooters. Man, I was so disappointed because there was a Twin Peaks at in Las Vegas, like right on the strip, right in the middle of the strip, like right near the Cosmo. And my wife and I saw it the last time we were both there. And we're like, because we're big Twin Peaks TV show fans. Like, Twin Peaks is one of my favorite shows of all time. And we're like, oh my God, is this like the Twin Peaks restaurant where you have to like go in and be like, I want a cup of Joe, like a nice black cup of Joe. Like, you haven't seen the show, but like that's what Dale Cooper would always say when he walked into the diner. And I was like, man, is it gonna be like people dressed up as like Twin Peaks? It's gonna be like a small like a midget guy dressed up in a red suit. Like I don't know. We were like, oh my God, I can't wait for this. And so we go over to eat, and like it's just like there's like women in bikinis, and I'm like, I don't remember this from Twin Peaks. I talked to the waitress. I'm like, I thought this was about Twin Peaks the show, and she's like, "There's a Twin Peaks show." I'm like, okay, great,
dude, that's hilarious. You really thought that,
we did. We both did. I thought it was good.
dude. That's awesome.
We thought it was about the TV show. That'd be awesome if it was.
That's one of the greatest things I ever heard.
Yeah. Well, I was disappointed.
Look surprise on your face.
I was really disappointed. I don't know.
Dude, that's yeah, like I don't know. I just feel weird about like what am I, like some like horn dog there, like at Hooters, like waiting for her to bring my wings over. I mean, but don't get me wrong, yeah, like obviously it's a visual I enjoy.
Yeah. Well,
but
I mean, it's the same thing about like strip clubs, right? If you go, like, you feel weird, unless you're like completely wasted, and then you just don't care. But like, I don't know. I haven't gone that often. I went for my bachelor party. I've only gone twice. Like, I only went for my bachelor party. I went another time in Miami to meet a weird situation where I met a source of mine in the NFL. And this guy is good. Good guy, like, and everything, like, provides us with a lot of information. But like, he said to me, he's like, yeah, I've been to strip clubs at every NFL city. I know the best ones. And so he wanted to meet at a strip club so we could discuss, like, whose team was going to draft. And so, yeah, I was like, okay, sure, that's fine.
See, that's pretty hilarious, actually. Yeah. But like, for me, like when I was younger, like in my early 20s, like I've probably gone like maybe like 15 times in my life, but like none. Well, actually, I wasn't like thrilled because like here's what it comes down to. I like naked girls just as much as the next guy, but like I don't want to pay money for that. I'd just rather do like the legwork and just like, I don't know.
Like, you'd rather pay money to go to a restaurant and like in a show.
Yeah, I want to go to Red Lobster.
You have to pay money either way, but
well, if things get tight, we'll just roll up to Long John Silver's. So
that's true.
Anyhow, how did we get on this? This all started from the 2 for $6 deal.
Yep.
In the background.
That's right. Our advertiser is getting their bang for the buck here. But we might as well talk about the content in the middle of the page, right?
Okay, yeah, let's see it.
This is a strip club where Plaxico Burress mishandled his gun. I thought it was just like a nightclub. I didn't know if it was a strip joint. It could be. I don't know. Walt wrote a strip club visit. I did. Believe me, I did.
Dude,
it was a business meeting, 100%. I got some good information from that, but it was not the best strip club. There was one. A lot of them were Latina girls, but a lot of them were big. But there was one who was really attractive. But like there were a lot of like big girls there too. But my contact was having a lot of fun, so I was not gonna maybe like, hey, let's go somewhere else. I don't know. It was a fun night. This is actually like right before COVID too. This is the Miami Super Bowl where the Niners played the Chiefs. It was like the night before, actually, when I met him up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Holy cow, man. Okay. Well, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, let's talk a little NFL. Then
we'll get back to the important matters at hand. This is intelligent programming when I'm on the show.
I know. Exactly. Lefty says, I think the Raiders got a great deal. They have a real quarterback now. I question what Seattle's doing. Are they trying to tank? I completely disagree. I think this is for those who haven't heard, the Raiders acquired Geno Smith from the Seahawks for a 3rd-round pick. I completely disagree with what Z says. Like, I think this is an outstanding trade for Seattle. Geno Smith is not a good quarterback. He's not a bad quarterback. I would rank him, and maybe we need to go through this because I've had this debate online on Twitter with a bunch of people. Some of them very stupid. So maybe we can settle it here. But I think that Geno Smith is a subpar starting quarterback. I think he can lead a team deep into the playoffs if like everything's perfect around him, kind of like a Jimmy Garoppolo, for example. Like Garoppolo took the Niners to the Super Bowl because like he had a great team around them. I think Geno Smith's the same sort of way, maybe a little bit better, but I think that he's kind of in the same range though. And I think that Seattle doesn't have that sort of a roster, and they really needed to move on. Geno Smith's 35 too. Like he's going to be on the decline shortly, if not this year. They're getting a 3rd round pick for him, which I think is pretty outstanding, given that he's an older quarterback who's not anywhere near the top 10. So, and Seattle, they have a plan. Look, they have a very smart GM. John Schneider has been there for a long time. He really knows what he's doing. And I think that he's going to do one of two things. He's either going to sign Sam Darnold, and maybe he likes Darnold. I think if you compare Darnold to Geno Smith, I think that they are somewhat close. I would say Darnold, given his age, you definitely want Darnold, like given his age, like Darnold, while Geno Smith is, he's 35 years old. Sam Darnold is 27. He's going to be 28 in June. So let's just say he's 28. So this guy's 7 years younger. He was drafted higher. And I think there's more potential with him. So that's one avenue they could pursue. The other one is that they could draft a quarterback at number 18, or if Shedeur Sanders falls, which this has been rumored, maybe they could trade up 8, 9, 10 spots and get Shedeur Sanders. But if they stay at 18, and I asked this question to Cam Macon Eagle, who's a Seahawks fan on here, I said, who do you want at 18 for a quarterback? And the options: Jackson Dart, or Jalen Milroe, maybe Quinn Ewers, probably not. But one of those quarterbacks. If Seattle loves one of those quarterbacks, they can just take one of them. So before we move on to the Raiders, what do you think about this from Seattle's perspective? Because I gave Seattle an A+ for getting a 3rd for Geno.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a decent. I don't know if I'd give it an A+, but I do think a 3rd rounder for Geno is very good. I disagree with your grade for the Raiders, D. I think this is maybe more of a B. I think this is going to make them I think they were a team that was a lot better than the record indicated last year. And Geno, is he like the long-term answer? No, but I think they're definitely going to be better.
Mm-hmm.
And if then Crosby's going to be coming back from the injury. He was out for the whole when did he go out? Was it December of last year? I mean, they were all already out of it by that point. But I mean, I think the Raiders are going to be. This is definitely going to help them. I would give this more of a B for them, maybe for at least a solution for a couple of years here. I mean, but I guess it depends what they're trying to do. Maybe they're better off tanking. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
A solution for what though? Like, how far do you think Geno could take the Raiders?
Especially no, but I'm just saying it'll make the team better. I don't.
I personally think that they're just giving up too much for a 35-year-old quarterback. If you trade for a 35-year-old quarterback, like, you have to win now, because if you say like, oh, we're 2 or 3 years away, like, this quarterback's gonna be 37 by the time, or 38 by the time, like, you're ready to win the Super Bowl. So the question is, are the Raiders ready to win the Super Bowl? And I don't think they are. They have way too many.
No, I don't either. But
yeah, I mean, look, they have no running game. They have no number 1 receiver. Their offensive line has a lot of holes. They even cut their center, Andre James. I know they have a young guy who can step in at center, but we don't know how he's going to play. Andre James has been proven. I know last year he struggled because he was injured. I thought he'd bounce back this year. So you have a team with no running game, no number 1 receiver, and issues on the offensive line. And then on defense, they have a great defensive line, but they have major problems in the secondary. Their top linebacker is free agent. And they have a new coaching staff too, so they have to get coordinated and stuff. So I think that this team is just I think this is a huge misstep for the Raiders. I don't see how, for them to have a good chance to make it deep into the playoffs, like, they have to be better than the Chiefs or the Bills or the Ravens. Like, those are the top 3 teams. And I don't think they're anywhere close to those teams. I think, like, if you I've done this, like, during the season, like, if you have those teams in Group A, like, the Raiders have to at least be in Group B to, like, maybe knock them off. I don't think they're a Group B. I think they're probably a Group D team right now, maybe Group C. But it's still a tough division. Like, you have the Broncos with Bo Nix in the second year. You have Justin Herbert with Jim Harbaugh in his second year now. I still think, even with Geno Smith there, I don't think they're guaranteed to stay out of last place. They just have so many holes, and I know they have a lot of cap space, but we'll see what they do in free agency. But there's not a lot of talent in free agency this year. It's not like that many marquee players. So
what if they draft Genty?
What if? I don't. Well, first of all, Charlie doesn't think that's going to happen. Charlie hadn't taken a cornerback in our Thursday mock draft, and I don't think I personally don't think drafting a running back in the first round is a good idea, unless it's like an elite player like a McCaffrey or Saquon Barkley.
Gibbs worked out.
Yeah, I don't think Genti is that good though. Like I think he's like in the next tier. And I think anyway the Raiders will probably draft a running back on day 2 anyway. And this is a great running back class. And Charlie made a great point. Their new offense coordinator is Chip Kelly, who was coordinating the Ohio State last year. Ohio State has 2 running backs coming out, Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson. So Charlie was pointing out that like they could probably get one of those guys in round 2 and kind of just they'll know the offense right away. And I think that there's good familiarity with Chip Kelly. So that's why he doesn't think that the Raiders are going to draft Genti at 6. So I really don't. I don't like this trade for the Raiders at all. If it's like a 5th round pick, I definitely like it. As a 4th, I think I'd kind of be like lukewarm. And a 3rd is just too much of a resource to surrender for a 35-year quarterback who's like not that good. And maybe we can get into how good he is compared to the other quarterbacks. So I don't know if you want to do that. Let's get to some comments.
Yeah, let's see.
Let's see. Nick say, let me see what they give Darnold before I call anyone an idiot. Yeah. I mean, look, it depends what they pay Sam Darnold. That's definitely true. So you want to see them overpay Darnold. I think that Darnold, while better than Geno, is I think he's an overrated commodity right now because he's not going to be coming with Kevin O'Connell. So
Nick, I like your picture, by the way. Yeah. Homer Simpson. I can't believe I ate the whole thing. Great stuff, man. Thanks for joining.
That's nice. Helps them, but they will win a playoff game with Geno. Doubt it. But will they win a playoff game with Geno? Doubt it. Yeah, I don't think they will. They could, but probably not. Sam Darnold equals Cooper Rush. I think Darnold has more talent than Rush. I mean, he was the number 3 pick in the draft. But the problem with Darnold is like he gets like deer in the headlights when the moment's big, and we saw that in the playoffs against the Rams. Like he just looked like he didn't know what was going on. So, Anthony Richardson would make the Raiders QB position better. Yeah, well, if he decides to practice, that's his issue. 35 is still somewhat young for a quarterback. I mean, compared to Tom Brady, but like Brady's like superhuman, you know. Like I don't know if, like how long most guys can play. Like wasn't I think was like the drop off I think is like usually like 37, 38. Something like that. I wouldn't expect Geno Smith to play much beyond that. This makes him more competent for barely a top 100 pick. Yeah, look, it makes him more competent, 100%. But like, the goal is not to be competent. The goal is to win the Super Bowl, and I don't think Geno Smith will help them accomplish that at all. And then
I mean, he'll probably be better than Jamarcus Russell. I mean,
that goes without saying. Like, unless Geno starts eating Skittles on the sideline.
that was Marshawn Lynch that ate Skittles on the sideline. I thought
that was it's Russell. Russell did it first. Lynch made it cool. Yeah. Russell just like was trying to like hide his Skittles and like eat them secretly.
Do you think he was like the worst, like the greatest bust? I feel like he was.
I wrote a book on this, so it was a list in my book. Unfortunately, I wrote the book was it 8 years ago now, so I don't remember what I wrote. But I have a top 5 list of the greatest busts of all time, and I don't think Jamarcus Russell was number 1. I think it was there was a draft. There was like an all-time legendary draft. Like Deion Sanders was part of it. If you look at like the top 10 picks, like 2 through 10 were like Hall of Famers, like almost all of them. And like number 1, I think it was Mandarich. I think that was him. I think that was that draft. And like if you look at number 1, Mandarich is like the bust there. And like 2 through 10, that was like I don't know. I'll have to pull it up.
Let me what all happened with Mandarich, because I feel like as an offensive lineman, it's like how do you really measure? I mean, I guess like you're just giving up sacks and stuff. Like what was his whole like? What about him was such a bust? They said that Brian Bosworth was a bust, but like he just got hurt. I love Bosworth. He's one of my all-time favorites. Like remember at Oklahoma?
Mm-hmm.
He was great. They made a good 30 for 30 on him too. It was really good.
Yeah.
But like, what do you think? Like, what do you think about Mandarich? Like, what was so bad about him?
Well,
Like, just couldn't block anything, or like, and he got hurt. I
first
think.
of all, like he wasn't good coming out. Like he allowed a lot of sacks and stuff. But then like there was steroid use allegations, and then like there's like alcohol abuse and stuff. So he had a lot of things going on. Like not only was he bad, but he had like substance abuse issues. So
I got you.
let me pull up this this draft class, and I think this is it. So 1 second here. All right, the 1989 NFL Draft. The Mandarich was second. Like, look at this: Aikman, you have Barry Sanders, Derek Thomas, Deion Sanders, and then you have a bunch of guys here who are great too. Like you have like Tony Mandarich here by the Packers. Like they could have drafted Barry or Derek or Deion.
Wait, what year is this?
1989.
1989. Oh my God! Let's scroll down a little bit there.
You have Steve Atwater.
Oh man,
Wolford, Trace Armstrong, Eric Metcalf. Great receiver there. Andre Bad Moon Rison.
Oh, Andre Rison, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Sometimes people forget he did get a Super Bowl. Andre Rison, with the Packers. He was on them that was the only year he was on there.
Yeah.
The year that they beat the Patriots 35-21.
Yeah, Mark Stepnoski, Dave Meggett, Chris Jackie. It was a
great draft. The legendary Chris Jackie.
Yeah, there was 12 rounds. This would be 12 rounds.
Wow.
Which I actually wouldn't mind. Like if they did 4 days and like 12 rounds. I know most people wouldn't like that, but like selfishly, I would love it because that would just be more revenue for us. But like I said, selfish because May, June, July we get like no revenue coming into the site, so we have to get as much in April as possible.
Well, maybe that'll change this year with the Walter Variety Hour on Saturday nights.
Maybe we actually have a. I don't want to announce it yet because I don't want to announce it. I don't want to announce something where like it doesn't happen because like there's a chance this doesn't get built this summer and like it might be put on the docket for next summer. But we do have like sort of like a fun NFL game sort of thing that we're going to try to publish on the site. It's gonna be like a daily thing. It's gonna be like a new thing every day. I think it's gonna everyone like I've talked to about this, like from like our ad team and stuff. And also I messaged to Charlie. They're all like, "Wow, this is a really cool idea." So I'm excited about it. I don't know like how it's gonna be built or how it's gonna look, but I think it's gonna be a cool thing. So I'll announce it if there's like definite headway.
Yeah. Oh well, I look forward to talking about it in the green room.
A great green room. Papa J saying like and subscribe. Yeah, please like and subscribe as Papa J.
Thank you, Papa J.
Thank you, Papa. They signed Kappa. The Raiders got Alex Kappa too. Who's he's good in the past, but I don't know what happened to him last year. Any golf bets for tomorrow? I got bonus bets from Bet 365, won 300 for being second. Oh, nice. I put out a bet on Jason Day at 9-1. He is 3 strokes back. We can talk about it at the end. But I think Day looks pretty good at 9-1. Colin Morikawa in first place. He's obviously a great golfer. I didn't think this is a great course for him. I think he was like 11th in my model, but just didn't work out this week. Scheffler just really disappointing. A bunch of guys were really. This is one of the toughest courses on tour. So, Morikawa's 10 under. Like he could easily implode tomorrow. Like it feels like every day there's been someone at the top, and then they go like triple bogey. Just like sinking. Like Wyndham Clark was in first place, and he went like +4 today. I think he's like nowhere near first place now. It's pretty nuts. This course is so tough. Agree with everything being said. Should have been a rebuild year. Yeah, I think Raiders just tanked for Arch Manning. What are you doing? If they find a good receiver, get a good running back in a loaded class, they're in the mix of this move. I just think they need a lot. Like they need multiple offensive linemen, they need multiple defensive backs, they need linebacker, they need running back, they need a top end receiver. Like it just feels like this is like a 2-year project, not like, hey, let's fix it this year. Especially with like free agency not being that good this year. Didn't Smith lead the NFL in passing yards last year? Geno Smith in passing yards? If he did, I mean, like John Kitna was like one year he led the league in passing yards. Like I don't think that's like a great metric to talk about quarterbacks.
Kitna really led the league.
There's one year John Kitna was like well over 4,000 yards.
Remember, I think that was 07, 08. Remember the Lions? They started out 6-2, I think.
Yeah, that was a Mike Martz team.
And they missed the playoffs too.
Yeah. So I mean, look, teams with their if their defense sucks, they're gonna have to throw a lot, and I think Geno Smith did that. And he's DK Metcalf, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, Tyler Lockett. Like he has talent. Noah Fant's a good tight end. Like they had a lot of talent there. So like we'll see how he does with the Raiders with just Brock Bowers, and I like Jacoby Myers, but that's pretty much all they have. Charlie, is Jetty Thurman's big board? Is that class that bad? This class is bad at the top. Like there's not a lot of top end talent, but this class is deep though. It's like the second and third day, like early third day is gonna be pretty good, but like there's no like blue chip players like Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter. If you look at them, if they were in last year's draft class, like obviously they're not going to be above the quarterbacks like 1, 2, 3, but like they're both behind Marvin Harrison Jr. They're both behind Joe Alt. They're both behind Malik Neighbors. They're probably on the level with like Rome Odunze. Like they probably go like the 7, 8, 9 area, So yeah, I mean, like again, they don't. There's not that much top end talent here. Let's see. There's no Jefferson or Addison in Seattle either. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely true about Darnold. I mean, that's why I said like Darnold is, I think, overrated at this point. Good.
You know what I was thinking about with those teams we were talking about in 07? Remember the Browns with Derek Anderson, and they still missed the playoffs? I'll never forget. Back before, long before I was ever here on the show, obviously, like. I remember you gave me a shout out because I saw the line, like the Browns needed like one more win and they played the Bengals, who were really bad that year. And I saw the line and I just sent you a message. I was like, that's a shame about the Browns. I was like, they're a good story this season. And you wrote that up on your site, and sure enough, the Bengals won outright. Because I knew as soon as I saw the line, I was like, that ain't right.
Yeah.
And that was the end of them. Because what did they finish, like 9-7 or something? And they missed the playoffs.
Didn't they go 10-6?
Ooh, I don't know. That was 07. I remember so much about that 07 season. That was, for quick reference, that was the year that the undefeated Patriots lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl for those watching.
10-6, yeah.
Did they really?
Yeah. They didn't make the playoffs. They had Derek Anderson and his magical flask.
What'd you say, his magical flask?
Yeah, the magical flask. Do you remember?
No.
Used to get everyone drunk. You don't remember that?
I don't remember this.
Oh man, that was a great time. No, he used to carry around the magical flask, and he used to go to the other quarterback, and it's like, hey, he used to trick them into drinking from it, and they used to get like pretty intoxicated.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I never heard of this. I had to look this up then.
Well, I mean, it's a bit I ran on the site.
Oh.
That's what I mean by being serious, is it?
God, I'll believe anything. I was like, how is this?
You believe Busta Rhymes is an Arkansas congressman?
No. I was like, wait, what? I caught myself
right before the show. Like you mentioned Busta Rhymes, and I was like, I looked him up. Well, first of all, he's like humongous now, but I'm like, I was like, oh my God, Busta Rhymes is an Arkansas congressman.
I was like, wait, what? Just checking to make sure I'm still listening. I don't know. Half the time I'm freaking. Anyhow,
Russell got lost in the Dan team building. That's a low bar to set. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Isn't JSN better than or equal to Addison? I think so. They're pretty close. He was drafted earlier. I would rather have JSN than Addison, but it's very close.
Oh wow. Okay.
Dude was worried enough. Yeah. Mandarich had slow feet and like some. Yeah. I mean, he couldn't pass protect. There's footage of Reggie White hip tossing him out of the way. Yeah. 12 rounds.
Oh, really?
Those are the good old days. Yeah, look, there's so many UDFA guys. Like, why not just have more rounds? The NFL draft should be 4 days. It should be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like, why not go the whole weekend? Like, what else do they have to do? Like people like, oh, I don't want to watch 4 days of the draft. Like, why not? Like, what else do you have to do that Sunday? Like, just like because after the draft is over, there's no football of relevance until July, when training camp starts. I guess there's that one day the schedule gets released, but outside of that, there's like no football to speak of. So like, why not just make it as long as possible? I don't get why they just settled for 3 days. It really should be 4. And really, even if you don't want to expand the draft, like have like, I think Thursday should be round 1, like they have it now. I think Friday should just be round 2 because round 2 is such a big deal. And then Saturday should just be rounds 3 and 4. Like make that a bigger day. And then Sunday could be like the rest of it, just like the diehards only tune in rounds 5, 6, and 7. Maybe just you can try to like sneak in around 8 or something. But I think that's what I would do if I were Goodell. They would make so much more money on it, just like with the ad spots and like being televised and stuff. I just don't get why they don't do it. Just like I know they already expanded it. Like it used to be only one day, but then they made it 2 and now 3. It really should be 4. Just make it the whole weekend.
I got a better idea. Okay, between now and start it as soon as the season ends, and just do one pick every single day until the season starts.
I joked about that on MLB.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they like miscalculated, and so like the draft was going on during their season. It was like round 5 when the season started. So
yeah, well, whatever it is, like a few picks a day, so that it evens out. So it's like as soon as. Well, I guess that doesn't make, or I guess up until the preseason starts. That way, no one misses any time.
Yeah,
sort of thing. So, and then we start like a documentary crew, and like we document the player got drafted. Like, what are they going to do to celebrate? And like we follow them out and stuff. People want to watch that. It's must see TV. And then we'll be rich off of that, and then we can sit here and do this show all freaking day, every day.
Yeah, I'm down.
All right, there's a lot of things that have to happen first, but I'll work on it between now and next week. I'll keep you updated.
Okay, it sounds good. You are my lawyer on the other things, so you got your work cut out for you there.
Yeah, I got a lot going on now.
Yeah, I know. You're very busy. All right, Bet365 suspended golf bets for some reason. I don't know. Maybe there's like an injury or something that like someone's gonna sit out. Who knows?
James, I hope it's not Jason Day.
Yeah. Yeah, right. James hit 5,000 yards in his 30 for the season. Yeah, exactly right. So this passing yardage doesn't mean much. Third round pick is crazy for Smith. I agree, Andrew. I think it's just way too much for that. Ashton Genty third to the Giants would not surprise me. Seller's remorse. Well, if they didn't like Abdul Carter so much, I would say yeah. But like if they stay at 3, I think it's to be Carter. It sounds like they're trading up for 1 for Cam Ward. So I don't think Genty's going 3, but I do like the thought there. Like if they didn't like Carter so much, then maybe you'd be right and they'd go Genty. They used to have 20 rounds. It's a little too much. I think 12 is fine. 12 rounds would be too much for the Bungalows 4 scouts. I know they'd have to hire a 5th scout. Did you see that stat? Like in the AFC North, they showed like a graph of like how many scouts the scouting department for each team has. Or like for like the Browns it was like 30 scouts. The Steelers was like 26. Ravens had like high teens, and it was like Bengals have 4. Like
wow,
4
I did. I think maybe you showed it to me, or yeah. I definitely saw it somewhere. That's wild.
I know. I need 4 scouts in your scouting department. That's embarrassing. Like, no wonder they draft so poorly all the time. John saying, sorry I'm late. Bean just called me about extending my contract. We'll get to those. The Bills are handing out money like it's like candy on Halloween. All right, do you want to? Let's play a game here.
Okay.
Quarterbacks you'd rather have than Geno Smith. Okay. And we're gonna you have to factor in age just because.
Okay.
It just makes sense because you're training for Geno, you're factoring in the age. If Geno Smith were 25 and not 35, you'd be like, wow, this guy's a lot of potential. He can get better. But he's 35. He could be on the decline this year, if not like probably sooner. But still, it is possible that he could decline this year. So like you have to factor in age. So we're gonna go division by division.
Okay.
And I'm gonna keep track of how many quarterbacks you think or you would rather have than Geno Smith. Okay, I already have my numbers, so I don't need to keep track of mine. All right, Jalen Hurts. Would you rather have Hurts or Geno Smith?
I mean, Hurts.
Okay. Dak Prescott.
I'm really thinking about this one. This is a tough one. I how old is Dak Prescott now? He's got to be like 31, right?
31.
I guess I got to go with Dak Prescott then.
I agree. I'm not a big Prescott guy, but I think that you have to. The Giants don't have a quarterback on their roster, so we'll ignore them. Jaden Daniels.
Obviously, Daniels.
Obviously, yeah. All right, we go to the NFC North now. Jared Goff.
No, Goff all day.
I agree. How about no cookie Jordan Love?
No way, Love all the way, man. There's no way I go against him.
Yeah, I agree. How about JJ McCarthy from Minnesota? I mean, we haven't seen him play, but
yeah, I mean, obviously he's touted to be a much better player than Geno has turned out to be. But I mean, to start the season, I'll take Geno. I mean,
yeah,
we just because we don't know, we don't know.
Yeah, agreed. Caleb Williams.
And McCarthy's coming off injury too.
Yeah,
so
I agree. You'd rather have Geno than McCarthy right now, but in a year from now, we might be saying something different. Caleb Williams.
I mean, for the future, like I take Caleb Williams, of course, with the youth. But like, if you're like, okay, like we need someone like who's going to get us more wins this year, I got to go with Geno Smith, and if I'm rating it that way.
Yeah, but we have to factor in age. Like that's my whole premise behind
it. Right. Okay. Well, then like I said, because Caleb Williams, if for the long term. So yeah, I guess I'll say Williams then.
Okay. So we're at 6 now. We go to the NFC South. Baker Mayfield.
No, I definitely take Baker. I love Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, I agree. Michael Penix Jr.
No way. I'll never. Michael Penix Jr. is my hero, man.
Yeah, I know. I would be shocked if you said Geno over Penix.
Yeah.
Derek Carr.
I'll take Geno Smith. I mean, Carr has always been for me like. Remember, he had that good year in 2016, then he broke his leg, and then it's like you kept kind of waiting. Like I always thought, like he's gonna get like he's not a bad quarterback, but I'm like he this year he'll live up to his potential for me. Like he just never really broke through the way I thought he could have.
Mm-hmm.
And it's certainly the last I know he had injuries and whatnot, but I'd take Geno actually.
I would too. I think they're close, but I'll take Geno. Bryce Young.
Same thing. When same analysis as Caleb Williams, I'd say, if it's like wins this year, I might actually. I see. I believe in Bryce Young though. Like I believe in Harvey Dent. I should make posters, but no. I mean, once he came back last year, he definitely. They still lost a lot of games, of course, but they covered against some very quality teams. And he definitely looked better. He looked like a different quarterback than we've seen before. So I like to think that his star is on the rise. I know a lot of people will be like, oh, why? Like what makes you haven't seen much, but he's definitely improving. Like maybe he just needed that little reality check or, so
you would take Young then?
Yeah, I'd take Young.
Okay. This is the first one we disagree with. I don't know. I'm not a big Bryce Young guy. I can't see over the line of scrimmage, which is an issue. Like, he's so small. I feel like he's going to get hurt a lot. I get it though. He is young. I actually ran into a Panthers fan. He's a friend of a friend. I'd never I met him once before. He saw my website, but we I was talking to my friend and then he showed up. So I didn't know this. He's apparently a Panthers fan because he used to live in around the Carolinas. And he's stoked about Bryce Young. He's like, oh man, I'm buying up all these Bryce Young rookie cards. Oh, okay. Well, we met at the store. I'm trying to sell a lot of my memorabilia right now, so that's why I was there. So yeah, he was like, "Man, we got to get Terrell McMillan. Bryce Young's gonna be awesome with him." I don't think they're getting Terrell, but
well, I mean, think about a player like Jared Goff, who looked horrible when he first started with the Rams, and I mean, is he the greatest in the? Well, I mean, since he's been on the Lions, he's certainly had some great numbers. You know what I mean? But when you're thinking the best quarterback in the league, even though he's very strong, I don't think you're thinking Jared Goff maybe necessarily, Yeah. But look what he's turned into. He's been very, very solid, and and look how terrible he was his first year.
Oh, he was awful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, historically, it was one of the worst rookie years ever for a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Brody Croyle type of stats that he put up.
Brody, who would you rather have, Geno Smith or Fat Jim Miller? Right now.
Well, Fat Jim Miller took his team further into the playoffs than Geno Smith ever did. So
I'll take Miller.
You got Fat Jim Miller, also Hall of Fame voter. So I don't know how. I don't know how he got into that, but
it was me. I'm the one that voted for. I'm on the committee.
Yeah, you got him in. Nice.
Yeah, I'm in the Hall of Fame voting committee.
It's just so bizarre that Fat Jim Miller is a Hall of Fame voter. It's like I just don't understand why. It's like they just let anyone do it. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I love it. Well deserved. Well deserved.
Yeah. All right.
Where are we at here?
We go to the NFC West. Matthew Stafford.
No, let's take Stafford.
Yeah. Brock Purdy.
See, this is biased because I hate the 49ers. Everyone, how could you say that, Quacky? You don't know anything. I take Geno Smith just because I don't like the 49ers. But I don't know. Like,
you don't like the Seahawks either.
Yeah, but I like Geno. I don't know. I always like wanted him to do well. Like, I'm glad he kind of had like because when he was on the Jets, that didn't work out.
Okay.
So I don't know. Like Purdy, like I'll be surprised if he takes that team back to the Super Bowl again. I really will be. I really will be. I think it's going to be like a Kaepernick sort of situation where he got him there once close and was like, I don't want to say a flash in the pan, but like, he's not a bad quarterback. I mean, I think he's good, but I just don't see him. And I could be wrong, of course, but I just don't see it.
I bet the Niners win the Super Bowl, so I hope you are wrong, Tom.
Really, I'm surprised to hear that.
Look. I've said this before. They have the 6th most cap space in the NFL right now. They were so banged up last year. They're going to be healthier, and their schedule is the biggest joke of a schedule I've ever seen in my life. Have you seen it? How like ridiculous it is?
I don't think I have. Hang on. Oh, it's not going to be on here. Hang on. Do you have it like brought up there? Let's see.
Yeah, 49ers.
Now you're going to talk me into something here. I know it's going to happen.
We have to review this again. So outside the division, right? Okay, they go at Cleveland, at Houston, which is the toughest game, at Indianapolis, at New Orleans, at the Giants. Their home games: Atlanta, Carolina, Jacksonville, Tennessee, Chicago.
Oh my God, dude!
At Tampa. This is Houston is the one tough opponent, and like they're not even that tough. Like this is the easiest schedule I think I've ever seen in my life. Non-divisional. Rams games would be tough. But Seattle's not going to have Geno anymore. The Cardinals, you never know with Murray if he's going to stay healthy. Like they could have this easy opponent, cupcake after cupcake after cupcake. This is like one of those non-conference schedules you would normally see back in the day, where like teams would schedule like East Jacksonville State, and it's kind of like that sort of for the NFL. Like this is a joke. Like this is a joke. Like they're going to be able to rack up wins. They're going to have maybe a bye because of the schedule, and with a healthy team, McCaffrey's healthy. Like they have a chance. And like I said, 6th most cap space in the NFL. I think. Let's look.
Bet them most regular season wins. I can't believe that.
Where's the 49ers? Oh, maybe. For some reason they dropped down. They were higher up. Okay, they're in the middle of the pack as far as cap space is concerned. I wonder what happened because they were higher before. Actually, no. Let me refresh this because it says the Redskins have 79 million. Maybe that's because of Jonathan Allen cut. That actually could be it. Chargers have 90 million now with Joey Bosa cut. That's interesting. Anyway, yeah. So, all right. I think that the Niners have a good chance. Like I said, I bet them at. I think with a profit boost, I think it was like 20-1 that I got them at. All right. We have one more team in the NFC West. That is the Cardinals. Kyler Murray. Would you rather have Murray or Geno?
Yeah, I mean, I guess Kyler Murray.
Okay. All right. So we go to the AFC North. Josh Allen. Just write that down.
Yo, give me Geno, man.
Here's the tough one. Tua. I had to think about this one for a while.
That's tough. I mean, Tua with those concussions, it's. Yeah. I mean, certainly, I think his ceiling's higher, but I don't know. Like I feel like Geno is like more like he might not light it up, but he's like he's can certainly be reliable enough. I don't know. I mean, that's tough. I'll be different. I'll just say Geno because
Okay.
I'll give the man some.
I said Geno too. You just can't count on Tua staying healthy. You just can't. One more concussion, that could be it for him. So it's really a shame.
It's scary too.
Yeah. The Jets don't have a real quarterback. The Patriots. What about Drake May?
No, give me May.
Agreed. All right.
May. Yeah.
AFC North. We have Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow. Let me just down. The Browns don't really have a quarterback. They're probably they're either Cam Ward or Shador Sanders, but let's not. We haven't seen them yet, so let's not put them there. And the last team in that division, no, that's all four, right? Ravens, Browns, Bengals, Steelers. Steelers. Who's the quarterback? Either Russell Wilson or Justin Fields.
Russell Wilson is literally the best in the league right now. Yeah, give me Geno, man. I never like. I mean, I don't know why. I just never liked Wilson. I never found him to be elite, even in the years even in the Seahawks heyday.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So. I liked them a lot more back in the day, but I mean he's done now. All right. AFC South. CJ Stroud.
Oh no, Stroud.
Okay. Trevor Lawrence.
No, Lawrence. I know a lot of maybe people might not like that, but I still believe in Trevor Lawrence. I like I lived in Jacksonville for a while too, so maybe I'm biased, but
yeah, no-brainer. Anthony Richardson.
You think that's a no-brainer? Some people are down on Lawrence, but I guess over Geno. Never. I guess that's dumb. I'm the no-brainer. What else do we got? What do we got next?
Anthony Richardson. Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's like Richards. Like I get same analysis I had for Bryce Young and Caleb Williams here, because it's like the thing about Richardson. It's crazy. He looks like he can do so much. Like he's finally going to break through. But he like throws like 1,000. Like he'll make like a couple of nice passes, but then like you look back, he's like 8 for 26.
I know, it's terrible
for like 97 yards. It's like what? Like it just seems like he's always running around, but like nothing can happen. But it makes you believe. At least for me, I'm like, oh, like maybe he, but he's younger, so like I'll still say Richardson.
Okay, I actually would not have said Richardson just because I think his work ethic is so bad.
There's that too, yeah.
Yeah, this might be Jamarcus Russell 2.0, sadly.
Really? You think it's that bad?
I think his work ethic's that bad.
Wow.
His teammates don't even respect him because of that bad work ethic. Which is, I don't know. If you have all that talent, like how do you not work hard?
What if you might think like his team's down on him, they don't respect him, but then during the offseason, he trains all offseason, Walter, and he comes back. He's like, "Boys, I'm here. I'm ready to go to work this year." And they sort of like, "Damn, he's out there throwing dimes," and then you're on the show the following week eating freaking crow, man.
It's not. I don't think it's crow, man. Work ethic sucks. That's a fact. Now look, if he improves it, I'll give him credit. But
maybe he'll watch this and it'll help motivate him, man. We like to lift people up here on the Walter Football After Dark show.
He's gonna win MVP, and he's like,
yeah,
Anthony, what was the turning point in your offseason? I listened to the Walter Football After Dark show. You should not work ethic suck.
Yeah, it's like Quacky's a personal hero, man. Like just gave me he stood behind me when no one else could, man. That's sometimes an attitude's all you need,
Yeah. And with this newfound money I got from my MVP, I'm gonna reopen Hooters.
I just knocked my headphones out. Sorry, I'm gonna reopen Hooters. Dude, that was good. We're on a roll tonight. Yeah. Thanks everyone for watching, man. Sometimes like we actually covered a good bit of football here tonight.
Yes.
We
have 5 teams left. Will Levis.
Okay, hang on. I knocked my headphones out here.
Okay.
1 sec. Okay, now I got you. Will Levis? No, give me Geno Smith, man.
I know it's a joke. Mahomes. Let's jot down Mahomes.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Geno's got the consistent. Yeah, let's move on.
Justin Herbert.
No, I really like her. I don't know. I think the Chargers could be pretty good this year.
Bo Nix.
No way, man. Bo Nix all the way. I speaky Bo Nix.
Okay. All right. Sam Darnold.
Don't put me in this situation, man.
Well, we got the next one. We'll test you.
Yeah, I'll take Geno Smith.
Okay, Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know, man.
Who would you rather have?
I have to say right now, I have to say Geno Smith because like I just don't like. Yeah, like Rodgers near the end of the season, he did have a couple good, much better, good compared to what he had been doing. But it's like we know what he is capable of. Yeah, he's old and stuff, but like I just like the biggest thing for me with Rodgers is like I don't know where his head's at.
Yeah,
like I don't know what he's thinking. Like, is he's on what's his name, Pat McAfee's show, and like all the time it seems.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not to say you can't have hobbies outside of your job. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
it's just he's become more of a public figure than a football player. And it's just like I think he's kind of caught in between. I can't put my money on him. It's hard for me to put my money on him, not knowing as much as as much as an outsider is able to. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure where he's at mentally, so I'll take Geno.
Yeah, I would do the same. So to sum up, how many quarterbacks do you think that was off the top of your head? I have the answer here, but how many quarterbacks would you rather have than Geno? What was your guess?
Oh, how many would I rather have?
Yeah, how many have you said yes to the other quarterbacks during our rundown?
23.
It's 21. So Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, Jaden Daniels, Jared Goff, No Cookie Jordan Love, Caleb Williams, Baker Mayfield, Michael Penix Jr., Bryce Young, Matthew Stafford, Kyler Murray, Josh Allen, Drake May, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, CJ Stroud, Trevor Lawrence, Anthony Richardson, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Bo Nix. So you think that Geno Smith is the 22nd best quarterback in the NFL, considering age, which is 35. Which I think is about right. Like I think Geno is 20 to 25 right now when you consider age. And so like again, like a third round pick for a quarterback who is definitely below average now that we've kind of gone through the list. I think that's just a big mistake. So, and I said I had 20 quarterbacks better. You have 21. So we're in the same range.
Okay. We'll just slew. Walt tears them down and Quacky builds them back up. That's what I do, man. I uplift people here.
That's right.
I do my best, when I'm not making fun of everyone.
That's right.
No, right. but I do that, in an endearing sense. I think everyone deserves to be. I shouldn't say made fun of. I should say roasted. Everyone deserves to be roasted, even me.
Oh, of course. Well, you gotta like. It's like the Game of Thrones quote, the very first episode, where Tyrion says to Jon Snow, wear it like a badge of honor. That way, like no one could ever make fun of you for it. He's talking about Jon Snow being a bastard. Tyrion is, he's a dwarf, and he was saying that like, if you just make fun of yourself and stuff and make light of it, then no one can really make fun of you. And so it's the same thing. Mm-hmm. John say free agency class is so weak. I don't know how much cap space you have even matters. It is weak. There are some good free agents out there, so you can definitely get better, but it's not much depth to it. Let's get to some of the free agency signings. And we just had Ravens re-sign Ronnie Stanley, 3 years, $60 million. This is a huge deal for the Ravens. I thought that maybe Stanley would leave, go right next door to Washington, be Jaden Daniels' left tackle. I thought that would be an awesome signing for the Redskins. But no, Ravens are staying. Ronnie Stanley staying with the Ravens, which 3 years, $60 million feels like he could have gotten more. So I gave this an A. And I think like the only downside you could say here is that like Stanley has a bad injury history, but 3 years, $60 million is like not going to kill you if he's injured a lot, And I'd rather have the upside, with him protecting Lamar Jackson. I thought if he left, I thought that would put him like way behind the Chiefs and the Bills. But right now, I think they're pretty close to them. We'll see if they fix their secondary. If they do, then I can reclassify them as a Group A team, and then Evan and I don't have to have that argument every Tuesday night during the season. So, any thoughts on the signing?
Yeah, I told you a couple weeks ago that I like the Ravens to win the Super Bowl this year, and now I feel even better about the call. So,
Okay.
you love Mr. Ronnie.
Ravens are the one team. No, I should say the Ravens and Lions are. They're the two teams. I actually no, the Eagles too. They're the three teams I haven't bet and who are at the top of the futures lines. So, for example, if you look at the future odds, the Eagles are plus 650, Chiefs 7-1, Ravens 7-1, Bills are plus 750, Lions are plus 950, and then you get Niners, Bengals, Redskins are 22-1 still for some reason. I have not bet the Eagles. I have not bet the Ravens. I have not bet the Lions. I have bet all these other teams, whether it's like, bonus bets where you don't actually lose money, or if it's profit boost. So, like, for example, I had like a 50% profit boost on Bet Rivers, and Bills were 8-1 there. So I got them at like 12-1, which I thought was just like outstanding number. So like I bet these other teams like in certain circumstances. If you like these three of these five or two of these five teams, I bet the Chiefs and the Bills. And then I've taken out bets on the Redskins and the Niners, but I have not bet Eagles, Ravens, or Lions. And Lions because they lost their two coordinators. Eagles because I think we're going to get a better number with them. Just because Super Bowl winners tend to be aloof. Like I feel like they're going to lose a game or two that they maybe they shouldn't, but they have a tough schedule. They're like the opposite of the Niners. Like they have such a tough schedule. So like if they lose a few games, then I'll be looking to bet a better number than them. Like plus 650 kind of sucks. So like I definitely like the Eagles. I just think that we can get a better number. But the Ravens, I just felt like if they lost Ronnie Stanley, that'd be an issue. I have problems with their secondary and edge rush. But now that Stanley's returning, I definitely feel more comfortable with them. So I think you could be right. Like I think we disagreed on this when we talked about this, whether it was like last week or 2 weeks ago. But now I'm starting to come around because Ronnie Stanley was resigned.
Man, what if we had another rematch, the Ravens and the 49ers?
It's definitely possible.
Man, I can't believe the 40. You really talked me into that now. That 49ers win the Super Bowl. That's insane. That's insane. I mean, I think. Oof. I mean, how do they not think of all the things that would have to go wrong for them to not make the playoffs with that schedule?
I know.
I mean, we're talking like at least 4 teams on that schedule like have surprise seasons.
Yeah.
That's a tall order, and they have to be like really injured. Damn, 13-1, man. That. You talked me into that one, man.
Well, I mean, look, you can get a better number than 13-1. I believe that right now Bet Rivers has 15-1, so you can do that. And if you have any profit boosts or anything, like I got when it was 16-1, I got it to 20-1. So yeah, you can definitely get some great numbers out there if possible. So yeah, we both like the Ronnie Stanley re-signing. We also had Chiefs re-signed Marquise Brown 1 year, $11 million. So they were planning on doing this, and like it was like a weird circumstance where this happened hours after Xavier Worthy was arrested for domestic abuse, which sounds like he was choking someone. He said like a family member he was choking someone. Which we don't know if he actually did it. Like we'll see, with the investigations and stuff. But yeah, it just sounds pretty bad. But they got Marquise Brown back 1 year, $11 million. He barely played last year, but he like being healthy. I think he could be a good downfield threat, and especially if Worthy misses time and if he's like guilty of what they're accusing him of, then I think like he's going to be pretty instrumental to being on the team. So, and it's only 1 year. So like, even if he doesn't pan out, then it's not like a big deal anyway. So any thoughts on this one?
Is this the franchise tag?
No, it's not franchise tag.
What does that mean exactly? Because isn't a franchise tag a 1 year deal, right?
Yeah, you get paid among the top 5 average salaries at the position.
For 1 year.
Yeah, so which a receiver would probably be like 20 something million or something, 25 million. I don't know.
Why do you think teams do that? Like, what's the benefit of?
Well, they get to keep the player for 1 year. They don't have to give him a big contract. Remember the Redskins did that with Kirk Cousins for a while, just because like they didn't want to dedicate a long term deal to him, just because like, they weren't sure if like he would be the franchise quarterback. So they were like, all right, let's just like
Like
kick
basically
down the road.
a year-to-year lease. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I wonder why they call it a franchise tag. Like,
Just because I think it's like they're basically you're a franchise player, like because you pay them so much money for the 1 year.
yeah.
I don't know why they call it that, but anyway, so yeah, this is not the franchise deal. It'd be much more than
Got
this.
you. Okay. I actually never. I mean, I knew some of that, but I learned it's educational on the show too.
Yeah, well, we try to educate you, whether it's
I'm probably the only one that didn't listen
or
to that.
or pizza
Yeah,
chains, but yeah,
yeah. We'll tell you all about Long John Silver's and the like. There's
Okay, so the NFL franchise tag is called because it's a tool that allows teams to retain a player for a 1 year contract, essentially tagging them to their franchise and
okay.
preventing them from being an unrestricted free agent.
Oh, okay. Tagged.
There you go. Now we
Gotcha.
know.
All right. Very good. Very good. All right. What do we?
Uh, okay, so you like this move for the Chiefs?
Yeah, I mean, based on what you're saying, I mean, it seems all right. I hope they lose every football game. I do.
We're not going to lose every game.
No, they will.
0-17. That'd be wild if the Chiefs went 0-17. You called it.
Well, could you imagine like betting that like before like the not necessarily on the cheat for any team? I mean, it's only happened the one time, right, with the Lions in 2008.
Well, I mean that was 16 games too. It's not like we have 17 games, so 0-17 would be like new territory here. I don't like it would be astronomical odds for the Chiefs to be 0-17.
Well, yeah, and I don't necessarily mean the Chiefs. Well, I mean, I agree it would be astronomical, but like like don't they have like will there be an undefeated team this year, like regular season bet? They should do like will there be a winless team? I wonder if that's somewhere. I've never heard of such a thing. If there's let's play this. Oh, I don't mean to interrupt. Let's play this game. Which team? For them to go 0-17, we're gonna go into this conversation with the stipulation being that we realize it's so incredibly unlikely.
Which team's going to go in 17?
Yeah, if a team were to like I guess we're essentially picking like the worst record. Who do we think is going to have like the worst record?
I think if the Browns trade Myles Garrett, it's definitely the Browns. I don't see how any team's worse than that because they don't have a quarterback. They have no running back at all. They lost their left tackle to free agency. The receivers are good, and tight end's good, so they have something there. And some of their offensive line pieces are good. But if they lose Myles Garrett, their defense is going to take a huge hit. And so I think it would be probably, they still have some good players, but it'll probably be like middle of the pack at best defense. So with like no quarterback and a mediocre defense, like how's that team win games? I don't think there's any team is like bad enough to go on 17. Except Kevin Stefanski's not a bad coach too, so it's not like he's in over his head or anything. But the answers to this question could be a lot different in a few months. Like what if the Browns have a great free agency? Like they could also have a great draft because they have a lot of scouts too. So it definitely depends on what happens. But for now, I would say the answer is the Browns. But we'll have to ask this question in a few months and maybe see if we have a different answer.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think so too. I can remember there were a few. One like the Browns did go. They went 1-15. Not too. I want to say like in 2016.
Well, they went 0-16. They went 0-16 under.
Oh wait, the Browns did it too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I think that was. I want to say in like 2016 they only won one game. I can't remember.
Yeah. They were 0-16 and then they were 1-15, or maybe it was vice versa. Maybe they're 1-15 then 0-16.
I forgot that they did it too. I can't believe I forgot that.
Yeah, it's 2017. Hugh Jackson was the head coach.
For some reason, I thought they won one game that year. I can't believe I forgot that. But all I remember is when the Lions did it in 08. the last week of the season they played Green Bay, and I was like, oh my god, freaking curses to me if my team like blows it.
Yeah, they went 1-15 and then 0-16. The Browns in consecutive seasons.
Okay.
1-31.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
Yep.
I mean, what about the Jets?
Jets have a good defense though. Like they have good pieces on their defense. They have Breece Hall. They have Garrett Wilson. They have a good They should have a good offensive line. They have Vera Tucker, Olaf Shanu. I think the Jets went 7-10 with Zach Wilson 2 years ago. Like they'll win some. They'll win like 5 games or something.
Yeah. Oh man. What if what about the Titans?
Yeah, I mean
they play in a bad division though.
Yeah,
look,
they have some good pieces. Like their running game is good. Like they have Pollard and Spears. They have Calvin Ridley. They have 2 really good corners.
And they
Snead and Awuzie.
You play the Jags and the freaking Colts twice.
Yeah.
You play in a weak division. You're not gonna go winless.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're really well. Actually, I mean the Jags almost did it. Remember they went 1-15. We were just talking about that last week. They won the first game
against Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, and the Colts. Colts just can't beat them in Jacksonville, man.
Yeah, and it's the opposite. The Jags can't win in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
So, let's get to some more signings. The Bengals re-signed Mike Gesicki, 3 years, $25.5 million. If you went like back in time a year ago and like you were a guest on the show, like, well, guess what? Mike Gesicki is going to sign a 3-year, $25.5 million, and we're going to be talking about Hooters going out of business. I'll be like, wait a second, none of this is true. How dare you speak such crazy thoughts?
So you don't like it, huh? See.
I don't like non-elite tight ends getting big contracts. There's just like a very bad history with it, and I know that like he had a good year with Joe Burrow, and like there might be something to that, but at the same time, like he's been so inconsistent in his career, it's just tough to justify. And John pointing out what I was just about to say, they have the priority straight. If I'm Jamarcus Russell, if I'm Jamarcus Russell, I'm even fatter than I am.
If I was Jamarcus Russell,
I'm eating Skittles. Like Skittles right here.
Nice, fantastic.
If I'm Jamar Chase and T Higgins, we're like texting each other. We're like, wait a second, why didn't we get our deals? And Mike Gesicki did. They've been waiting for contracts for a whole year, and they see Gesicki get a big deal. Not like the money they're expecting to make, but still, $8 million for a tight end who's like a year ago was just kind of like a non-factor at all. I don't know. I don't hate it. I don't love it. So I think C is about right. What do you think?
I'm not a good person to ask because I'm telling you what, every single time I play Mike Gesicki in fantasy, he does awesome. So okay. it's like I swear, like every time I turn around, he's catching touchdowns. Like when I'm paying attention to him. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Like to me, like I understand. I mean, it certainly seems overpaid to me, but like every time I need him, he always comes through. So yeah, okay. I do. It is a bit much though.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll bump it up. Your fantasy
success. Give him at least a C+, man. Bring back the plus-minus system.
The plus, yes. All right, Bills re-signed Greg Rousseau, 4 years, $80 million. It's like on the surface seems like a lot of money, for a guy who's probably not a household name, but he's really young. He's 25. He had 9 or so sacks last year. And that doesn't it's not indicative of how great of a pass rusher he is or he can be. I think in a couple years, this contract might actually look cheap in a couple years. We're like, wow, Greg Rousseau got 15 sacks. How is he only paid $20 million a year? I think this is a great signing. I give it an A. Given his upward trajectory. Any thoughts on this one?
I'll just go with what you say, man. Greg Rousseau. I don't know these defensive players all that well. I'll just be honest.
All right, fair enough. Well, Levante David. He's been around the NFL for a while.
Oh, he got a franchise tag, it looks like.
Not quite, unfortunately, for David. But, 1 year, $10 million for David. He's been a mainstay in Tampa, great leader in the locker room. He's still good. He's not as great as he used to be, but Still a very good player. And if they lost him, they'd have a huge hole at linebacker because they also lost Devin White last offseason. As long as they keep him around 1 year, 10 million is like, even if he falls off a cliff this year, his abilities not actually fall off a cliff. Like if like his abilities like tank, then like the Buccaneers are not really punished for this, I like this move. Like, I don't think there's really anything negative to say about it. This keeps Tampa's defense, somewhat decent. They have issues in the secondary, but a linebacker, they'll still be good with David.
Yeah, I think they did the right thing slapping that 1 year tag on him.
1 year half.
No, I agree. I echo your sentiments, but I don't have much to add here.
Okay, yeah, we have a few more, couple linebackers.
Yeah, rip it,
we
man,
signed
rip it.
Terrell Bernard, 4 years, $50 million. I gave a C plus. Bernard's like the leader of the defense. He's young. He's 25, so he could get better. Also, really good run support, but he struggled in coverage this past year. It seems like a lot of money for a linebacker who's not great in coverage. But again, though, he's only 25, so it could get better. Like, I gave this a C plus. Maybe talk me into a B minus. It's not like a great deal like the Rousseau signing, but I think it's okay. And then you have the Lions re-signing Derek Barnes, 3 years, $25.5 million. Kind of like similar here. Like, he's a younger player, but he's coming off injuries, so he barely played last year. He was having a start of a great season. Like, he played 3 games. He was great in those 3 games. But then he suffered a torn PCL and MCL, not an ACL. So he should be fine to start the season. I think that, I don't know. I think that this is about, like, Bernard's at $12.5 million per year. This is about $8 million per year, like 8.3 or so. So I gave this a little of a higher grade, a B grade. I think they're pretty similar players. So I like this a little bit more just because the savings that compared to Bernard. Another linebacker, Redskins re-signed Bobby Wagner, 1 year, $9.5 million. I give this an A because it's only 1 year. There's not much risk beyond this. Like, if he struggles and falls off a cliff, then the Redskins only lose the money that they can carry over into next offseason. But given that the cap has gone up every year, then that probably won't matter at all. So, and plus the Redskins have a lot of cap space with their rookie quarterback. So there's no downside here at all. Wagner could just drop off, given that I think he's 35, but he played really well last year. So, I had nothing really bad to say there. And then,
what of that Bernard signing? Bernard, that was he was the guy that played the head elf in the Santa Claus, right?
Yeah, he played, like, during the bye week. He was filmed that.
Bernard, yeah.
Yes.
That's an underrated Christmas movie.
Elf?
No. The Santa Claus.
Oh,
with Santa Claus. With Tim Allen.
Tim Allen, yeah.
You remember Bernard was the head elf. He's like, "What's your name, Barnabas?" Bernard.
I don't know how you remember that. Like, how did you?
I can't believe it? No, I can't believe you don't remember that.
I mean, look, I've watched the movie like maybe 3 or 4 times in my life, but
oh, really? I've probably seen it at least 150.
It's like, I mean, if you've seen it that much, you'll know who the head elf was and what his name was.
Well, there is a street in Pennsylvania. It was Barnard Street, Barnard, and people would call it. They'd be like, "That's Bernard Street." It's like, no, that's Barnard. Mm-hmm. Like, people would say it's Bernard. It's like, no, Bernard was the head elf in the Santa Claus. That's Barnard. I mean, you freaking read the sign, man.
Oh, Bernard was he was the wife of he was the husband of Rose in Lost. That's what I know Bernard from.
Bernard. Have you ever met anyone named Bernard in real life? Like, first name Bernard? Bernie, I guess.
I mean, yeah, Bernie Sanders. I haven't met him, but have I
Bernie
ever
Williams?
met Bernard?
Bernie Williams.
I have.
Bernie Williams, maybe.
I don't think I've ever met a Bernard.
You ever meet a Gus in real life? I met a Gus once.
I knew a Gustavo.
Oh, you get partial credit then. There's something wrong with my brain. Let's keep going with this. Let's finish out the signings. Keep it going, man. I'm holding this up.
I mean, every other signing we covered in past days. Like we talked about Tutu Atwell. Okay. I don't understand this signing.
They tagged him.
Yeah, I mean, the average 5 salary for crappy receivers, I guess. I thought I was like I thought this was like Mandela effect, where I was like was Tutu Atwell good? Like, am I misremembering this? like this is fully guaranteed, by the way. It's 1 year, 10 million, fully guaranteed. By the way, we had a question in the chat. It's by Slew, and I actually looked this up, but I forgot to answer. Is the franchise tag 100% guaranteed money? Yes, it's fully guaranteed. So, yeah. So like this is fully guaranteed too. I'm like, why would you guarantee Tutu Atwell $10 million? Like who is going to sign this guy for $10 million guaranteed for 1 year? I don't know. I said you could. This sounds like money laundering to me, and I was like, you can get my money laundering T-shirt here. That's what it seems like to me. I don't know. Something fishy's happening here.
Dude, you know it'd be awesome. It's just like 1 year. Like I get the franchise tag to be like a punt returner, and I get the guaranteed like 1 year 10 mil, and then like I just go out there and I fumble each one. I still get paid.
Yeah,
anyone could do that.
That's not. You're not. So sorry to burst your bubble here, but you're not getting 10 million because a franchise tag is the average of the top 5 players in the position. So like. Their punt returners are not averaging 10 million.
Okay, but they're like everyone, all 4 of the Bengal scouts were calling me the next Devin Hester. You know, like maybe let's give the man a chance. Let's tag him. Let's franchise tag him, and then I can just retire.
You know, actually, like
the show.
My friend from college. I don't want to mention his name because it is a very unique name. But he was on the Penn State football team for like a semester. He was a fullback. But he just walked away from football. But like we would talk sometimes, and you know, he knew I ran the site and everything, and just was covering the draft. And he's like, "Walt, I have a great idea." I was like, "What?" He's like, "You should put me in your mock draft and write me up in your prospects, and then see if I get drafted." And just write fake articles about this guy because he's actually like a real person. You can look him up. Like if there's like a fake person that you put in your mock draft and stuff. I know teams do look at my mock draft. So if they see like they see I'll just use my name, Walter Cherpinski. You know, like Walter Cherpinski, linebacker, Penn State. They're like, oh, who is this guy? Like Walt has him in the 4th round. Let's look him up.
Yeah.
You could now with like AI videos, you could probably like make some fake AI videos and like you could really like trick a team into drafting a fake player.
Let's run a draft scam. Draftscam.com where like we'll put in like fake, like we'll be like, yo, Quacky T, long snapper. Oh, remember, because I could be I could go in there and like know something. You know, and you could just be like, you know, he only played 1 year at Penn State or something, you know, but like, oh, he was hampered by injury, but they called him. What kind of nickname could you give the snapper? You know, I was like perfect. I never I never gave a bad snap, and like he could really.
I have a better idea. Like because people don't really care about long snappers. Let's face it, but punters get drafted all the time, right? Do any of these scouts, like the Bengals have 4 scouts, like do you think those 4 scouts, any of them are ever going to visit a team that is punting? Like did they go, oh, I'm here to watch your punter? You know, I don't think that's ever going to happen, right? So you could probably get away with saying this punter punts the ball 70 yards every time. They call him the boot, and like you know, Quacky the boot T. And you know, they like there's like it's safe this way because like if you make a fake player, scouts are going to want to like meet him and like come out. Like no scout is going to meet a punter. Like, and so if you have like fake AI videos of this guy like booting the ball 75 yards every time, and like they're just gonna be like, oh, let's take this punter guy. We need a punter. Let's take this guy is Quacky the boot T. Like this guy's such a great punter. Let's take him in the 5th round. I think you could fake it that way.
We make the videos where it's just like me, like you know, and then you just start writing me up. I get paid, I get the franchise tag, and then like I will practice, I'll do my best, but then like at some point they're gonna be like, this isn't working out, but I'll still collect the tag, and then we can split the money. Draftscams.com.
I didn't even know you were going to split the money with me. That's just very gracious of you.
Oh, of course. It's the least I could do to you, one of my very best friends. We've known each other for over 20 years. For those who don't know that, so
yeah, it's more than 20 years now because that was fall of 04 is when we first lived right next door to each other at Penn State. It's kind of wild.
It doesn't seem like that long ago. We're like 20 years. That's
a long time.
Freaking time ago, man. It's more than half my life ago.
Yeah, almost half my life.
That's scary.
So,
it's scary.
Yeah, it's insane. The franchise tag for a punter would be $6.5 million.
Let's do it, man. I mean, how hard would it be to just like I'll just be out in the field? It'll really be me, but then like they do some AI that like I can kick it like really far. You're like, holy cow! Like this guy could.
Well, you're not getting the tag until like first of all, punter's not getting tagged. Like second, like you're not getting the tag until you actually earn it. Like you're gonna get your rookie contract. Like that's what you're gonna get. You're not gonna get any sort of second contract. It's like you're actually gonna have to do it in real life. That's the problem behind this is like as far as getting money beyond your rookie contract, you're gonna show up. You're like. And your special teams coordinator is going to be so excited. He's like, man, we got the boot. We're going to punt the ball 75 yards. And like, you're going to punt it like 20 yards. Or like as my our high school punter one time, it's so embarrassing. It was really windy. And like this guy punted the ball straight up in the air and the wind blew it back. And like, there's like a negative 8-yard punt. My coach was like,
that would happen to me. But like, I bet no matter what, we'd make a little money. But guess what? Like, imagine that happened. Then it's like, okay, like, Quacky, you've got like 3 months to like learn how to freaking kick that ball. You got to make it look at least somewhat good, at least good enough to be, like that. What an incentive that would be. I'm going to make like, but like even you think if I got a rookie contract, I'd probably make some money, right?
Oh yeah, I mean you got at least 7 figures for it. Scouts show up on campus looking for boot tee, administrators club. Here's the thing, like this is why there's no scout that's going to show up for a punter. That's never going to happen. Like. Again, the Bengals have 4 scouts. They're not going to send these guys out like when they're the 4 scouts.
You really don't think so?
Who's going to go to scout a punter? You can just watch it on tape.
I've got a great idea. Okay, I'll start working for you. I'll be like the special teams draft like watchman. I'll do special.
You have like so many roles here. You were last week. You were what was it like? What were you?
Oh no, I was going to do the Pro Bowl. Pro Bowl.
You were a Pro Bowl commentator, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to be the eyes on the ground for the Pro Bowl. And I do it pro bono, no pun intended. But then, like, what if I could do that? It's like, and then like I'd be the only, Quacky T for WalterFootball.com special teams coverage. It's just like, and then guess what? Like we scout a kicker, that's like we're like this guy is like the real deal. Like teams like would even be wise like down, and then like one day they kick the game-winning field goal in the Super Bowl as time expires. They pull a Vinatieri, and then it's like you heard it here first. WalterFootball.com, Quacky T, special teams, eyes on the ground. I mean, we'd be pioneering it, man. There'd be a whole thing.
Except no one would care about it.
Yeah, right. All we got to do is draft one kicker that kicks the game-winning field goal in the Super Bowl as time expires. That's all.
That's it.
That's all we got to do, man.
So
and then
easy.
We're going to be, then everyone's going to be like, dude, these guys really, like, they'll be like, not only do like they know the draft, but it's like down to the special teams, bro. Like they know the punters, man. They know the long snappers. It could really set us apart. Think about it.
I just don't think they'd care.
No, you're wrong. People. Go ahead. Let's move on.
No, I don't think they would care. As much as we want it. By the way, we would also have to dodge any fraud charges here. So, I just think it would be funny to fake it. But and with like the example I brought up with my friend, he was actually like a real person. So like if a team drafted him, like there would not be fraud charges. It's actually like a real person who I would like rank highly. Who was I call him a great fullback, which like that's my opinion. There's nothing wrong with that. But we fake a guy who kicks 70-yard field goals. And that might be an issue. We might be facing some charges.
Yeah, but don't worry about it. Between the time we just need to get noticed. Then I'll practice real hard and I'll kick the ball 70 yards. Be like he's an X-ray guy. That's what they'll say. He's an X-ray guy.
How much do you have to practice to even kick the ball like 40 yards?
I don't know, but I'll figure it out. Okay, so we don't make a video. Make it like a more realistic kick. Like I can punt at 50.
Yeah, but then no one's gonna draft you. The whole point was like create this like crazy fake person that someone will draft.
Yeah, 70 feet. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're using the metric system. We got messed up on the conversion.
Did you ever kick an extra point, like just even for fun?
No, I never kicked anything.
You never did it in gym? Oh, well, excuse me.
But this is a reference to soccer, by the way.
Yeah, no. Like I remember in gym class we kicked extra points one class. Really? I made one.
Oh man, I'm jealous. It's like we used to in gym class in high school. Sometimes I'd love it when we played hockey. That's great. But sometimes we'd have to play volleyball, and every single time I'd be like, I'm sick, or I can't do it because I have a big swim meet coming up, and coach won't let me do any gym today, and I just get to sit out the whole time. I got out of volleyball every single time. I hate volleyball. Wow. Like, with a passion. I hate volleyball so much. I hate it more than soccer.
Really?
Yes.
What don't you like? You hate it more than soccer?
Yeah, I think it's terrible. Why? I just don't know where the ball's going. I feel like an idiot every time. Like I always like misjudge the ball, and like even if it comes close to me, like I hit it like the wrong way. I don't think I've ever hit a volleyball over a net before. I don't think I've ever done it. I don't think I can do it. I think really my depth perception is so bad.
That's weird, but you were a really strong swimmer.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's different, but it's not like you're not coordinated, is what I'm saying.
I think my depth perception is just so bad. I'm also awful at swinging at a baseball. I can't do it either.
Really?
Oh yeah, I can't.
Interesting.
I have to like try to bunt or something like when I do it.
Oh, you're a bunter by trade.
I have to do it. There's like no other way I can come close to hitting it. Like
you go into the batting cages just to bunt.
Well, I mean, the last time I played baseball, this was like probably 2007. So it was, almost 20 years ago here. And it was with my friend's college graduation or something. And like, he lived near a park. So he wanted to go play baseball. So I'm like, okay. And I was like I tried to like hit a baseball and I was like not even coming close. And so I just switched to bunting. got it better that way.
Man, I used to bat clean when I played baseball in high school. I used to bat cleanup for our team. Okay. So like I could hit, like I was a power hitter. I don't think I remember one time I was in a slump and I went to bunt, but I don't think I ever bunted other than that. But I mean, I appreciate the art of the bunt. It's like a dying play.
Yes, I also would try to get hit by the baseball.
I'll tell you what, there was the neighboring town when I used to play baseball, like rec league, when we would play the teams from the neighboring town, I terrorized those teams. They used to intentionally walk me, actually.
Really?
Yeah, it was like one time they like actually made them do it. I'm like 12, by the way, when this is happening, and like 12 or 13. And then a couple times they're like, no, just take your base. They want to walk you. I'm like, I used to be so mad. I'm like, are you serious? But like I terrorized these teams. Like I had a couple games I was like 4 for 4, 2 home runs, 2 doubles. Like they couldn't like stop me. Back in my heyday, man, those were my glory days. Those were the Quacky glory days.
So what happened? Why don't you make it to the pros or at least the AAA minors?
Well, I gave it up for music and acting. So that's exactly what happened.
Oh man,
I was a catcher. I was a decent catcher. I wasn't. My throw down to second wasn't always consistent, but I could block anything.
I did the opposite. I was when I was growing up, I was on the swim team, I swam, and then I did piano, and I did like about 3 years of both together, and it was
Mhm.
like hard to dedicate one thing. And I asked my mom, like, I really want to like dedicate one thing, and so I was allowed to go to swimming, and so it worked out. Like, high school as as the team captain my senior year, and then I swam in college a little bit. I got hurt. I actually tore the chest ligament here in my chest or something in my chest. I don't know what it is exactly. It's actually like there's still a bump here. If you touch it,
Mhm.
it's a weird bump here. I was just sophomore year. I was swimming backstroke at Penn State, and like it was in practice. Like suddenly, like I felt this like twinge. Like, oh my god, this hurts so bad. And I had to stop swimming for like 9 months. It was, and I never got back to where it
Really?
was. Very brutal. Yeah.
Oh man,
Um,
that sucks. I'm sorry. And then you were on the jogging team at Penn State.
That's right. That's right. I was in the jogging team, and we met for coffee every day instead of going jogging, and then we would actually sleep in our dorms instead of jogging. It was great.
You never got caught?
No, the teacher didn't care. All he asked to do, like you'd show up. It was 9:45 to 11's class. So class, quote unquote. So you'd show up, you'd sign in, and he'd be like, okay, go running. And then you have to come back before 11 and sign out. That was it. So he never knew where we'd go. And so for the first few weeks, we would jog, and he would know, like we were just jogging normally. And then like one day, so we started a class. We got into groups, so it was like a group of 4 or 5 people. Actually, like all pretty cool. And so this is like probably 3 weeks into the semester. We're like, wait a second, why are we jogging? We don't get, like, they're not keeping track of this. And so like I remember like we sat down at this cafe near West Hall. So this is like around where the jogging class was, because it was at Rec Hall. And we're like we just sat there the whole time, and then we went back and signed out, and we did that for a few weeks. And then we were like, wait a second, why are we even meeting? We could just go in, sign in, and then go back and go to sleep, and then
Why are we
right, and then we'd sign out, and then we'd go back at 11, sign out, and it was great because I'd have a class at like 11:15. So, it was great. Like this is the best. This is the best class. We did have the 2 times we actually had to go to class because our midterm and our finals, we'd have to jog a mile, and then the only thing our teacher asked of is that we improve our time. So they're like people who bag the mile in the midterm just to like have a better
Yeah, yeah.
time by default in the final. And like I'm not very fast, so I didn't have a great time in my midterm. And then like my final, there's this girl I used to see. She graduated a year ahead of me, and she actually went to grad school at Arizona State. But she was visiting for the week there, and we went out to a bar the night before, and I got so sloshed. I puked in the bathroom there at
Oh,
the
wow.
bar. We went back, to my dorm, and like the next morning, I was like, she was like, do you want to get breakfast? I was like, no, I got to go jogging class. she's like, she's like, what? I'm like, yeah, we have to run a mile. She's like, well, you're not running a mile in your condition. Uh, and I'm like, this is my final. Like, if I don't show up, I'm gonna fail the class. So
Oh
I
my
go,
god.
I go. I'm so hungover, and I don't know how it happened. Like, I ran my mile at in faster than I did my midterm. I
Oh
don't know
my
how.
god.
And then like I was done, and like as soon as I finished, like a minute after I finished, I like vomited all over the place. It was so brittle.
Dude, that's horrible.
Yeah.
I
That
don't think
sounds
I would
great.
have.
Like I don't know how I ran so fast in my mile. It's like I don't know. I thought it was gonna get slower.
Dude, that's freaking hilarious. Like we
Yeah.
said 1 minute later.
Yeah. It was that. Oh yeah. A few minutes later, I just like
Oh, that's horrible. That's happened to
yeah.
me before too.
Yeah.
Like
It was we went to the Shandy Gaff, which is they
I
used to
remember
have.
that
They
place.
used to have like great specials on Tuesday nights or Thursday. It was our class is actually on a Thursday, so we went on a Wednesday, which is kind of weird because their Tuesday nights were like everyone would go on those Tuesday nights, but or was it Thursday night? I can't remember. It's been so long. But anyway, yeah, no, that was jogging class was great.
I should have taken that.
Yeah, easy A.
Yeah. You don't have to do any. All you got to do is puke at the end of the semester, and then otherwise you don't have to do anything. I'd sign up for that.
If I'm the teacher and I see the improvement and then I see my student puke, I'm like, wow, he really gave it his all.
Yeah. Yeah, you got like you should have got a ribbon for that.
Yeah. No, I was just glad to make it out alive. That was brutal.
I mean, could you imagine? Would you do that? It's like, hey, like if you take another, like we'll give you credit for this class, but like you don't have to like do anything. But at the end, like at the very end of the semester, like you will have to throw up.
Oh,
I'd do it every time. Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah,
dude. I mean, when you really look at that on paper, you got a good deal in there, man.
I know. It was a great experience. It was fun. I missed my college days.
It was a great experience.
Yeah.
You're freaking blowing chunks after a mile run. You're hungover as hell. It was a great experience.
Yeah. I mean, look, I made the decision to go out drinking, you know.
Yeah,
if my friend hadn't returned, you know, I wouldn't have, you know, it was probably would have stayed in, like play video games or something, then it'd be fine. But, you know, it was a fun night. Yeah, it was a fun night. I don't have no regrets.
Oh man.
So after 3 years of piano, I never heard of Rachmaninoff.
Wow, called him out.
So what happened? So I started piano and we did some classical music, and then I kind of complained to my piano teacher. And I was like, is there a chance like I could do some music I like? And she's like, what do you like? I'm like, I like the Beatles. And so she actually got me a piano book of all the Beatles music, and so I used to do that. So I would play all the Beatles music on piano.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So real quick before we head out, like our weekly ritual of going over the golf stuff. Colin Morikawa was plus 105. Russell Henley plus 270. Russell Henley, where were you last week? You know, he's tied for second right now with Corey Connors plus 550. Jason Day 10-1. You have Finau 35-1. Michael Kim 40-1. Then you have Rory, Shane Lowry. Shane Lowry's in first place. Look what happened to him. Sepulon Straka 80-1. And Scotty Scheffler 80-1. We already have bets on Scheffler. I'm like this course is so difficult. I have like an urge to like kind of like spray $10 on all these guys just to see what happens, because these guys at the top could easily go triple bogey, double bogey, you know, just fall out of contention. Like we saw that multiple times. Like I said, Shane Lowry was in first place. He bombed. Wyndham Clark was in first place. He's now 400-1. Who else? I forget who else was in first for a while. Someone was up here and they dropped off. But anyway, Grazerman on day one, he was like in first. Look at him now. Keegan Bradley too. He was at the top of the list. He was 6 under at one point. Now he's 1,000-1. So these guys could easily drop off, even though Colin Morikawa is like super accurate. But like he could get into trouble. So I think that first of all, I think Jason Day is a good bet here. 10-1. The golf guys have given it their blessing. Tony Finau is, I think, 13th in my model, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's 13th in my model. 35-1, I think is a good number. Michael Kim's, he's not high in my model, but he's been having a great year. 40-1, I think it's okay. Rory 50-1, like Rory could. It's a great course for Rory. He's third in my model, so he could definitely get there. Lowry could too. Sepulon is great historically on day 4. I think he's worth a shot. Scheffler, if you haven't bet him, he could get there. So, like I said, I think it's worth it to consider putting like $10, $20 on all these guys. I might do it. And you look at the standings here. Day is our top bet. He's 7 under. Finau 5 behind. Michael Kim 5 behind. Sepulon 4 behind. Lowry 4 behind. I didn't list Novak because I mean Novak's not that good. He had a great day, but he's not that good. Then you have Rory 3 under, you have Scheffler 2 under. So like I said, like $10-20 on all these guys because these guys at the top could easily just fall off like we saw. Like I said, Shane Lowry was 8 under at one point. He went +4 today. Wyndham Clark +4 today. You see these guys just like Keegan Bradley, like I said, +4 today. Ludwig Aberg, he was near the top. He got +5. So yeah, I think Morikawa, I think is he's the safest of the guys at the top just because he's so accurate. But I mean Henley, I wish we got this last week. But yeah, I think it's worth a shot to take some of these like mid 30 to 80 to 1 guys because something crazy stuff can happen tomorrow, or I guess later today. It's afternoon midnight. So yeah, that's where I stand here. I already bet Jason Day, and I'm considering just small bets on Finau, Kim, Straka, Lowry, and McIlroy. And so there might be like 10, like 0.1 unit each, like or 0.2 units each or something. So that's where I am.
I might hop in on some of that action myself.
Yeah, and of course, DraftKings has their contest, so you can do that too. But yeah, all right, we're closing up on 2 hours here, so that's about it for tonight. So please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit the link in the description for the merch store. Thank you so much to RMAC, 15 for the $10 super chat. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I really appreciate all you guys being in the chat with us and always. So it means a lot to have this this great chat here. Just be able to communicate with you guys. It's a lot of fun. Quacky, do you have anything to plug, like your Twitch channel?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be back on the streaming trail here soon because I downloaded that game, Walter, that you recommended, Ori and the Blind Forest. I actually got both. I can't remember what the other one's called, the Wisp something.
Will of the Wisp or something?
Yeah. So I got both of them because it was in a package. But I'm going to start streaming that because I've been doing Rocket League for a way too long.
Wait, have you played Ori yet?
Yeah, I was playing it right before the show, in fact.
Oh, how do you like it?
Yeah, I like it a lot so far. It's very. You're right. There's some very moving parts at the beginning.
Oh yeah, man.
So
I was like in tears.
Yeah. It's a really good game so far. So I look forward to it and should be on the old dusty streaming trail here again soon. I appreciate everyone being here. It's always so much. So we're always going to have like a lot of laughs. Like that's what really makes this great. Even though we never. I mean, except when we go through the games, like in the regular, or during the season, like we never have any like structure. Like, okay, we're going to talk about this. Like, sometimes I just make a list of things like on my phone just so I don't forget. Mm-hmm. But like I always just like have like material ready, and then like all we really need is like one thing, and then it just flows. It's funny how that works. But
I could talk forever.
Yeah. But great time with all of y'all as always. I love hanging with you with all of you and Walt as well, of course, and appreciate y'all joining.
I can't wait to watch your Ori streams. I will definitely be on commenting, especially like when you go through. There are 3 dungeons in the game, and when you go for the first one, it's really really cool stuff in there. The dungeons are awesome. So yeah, looking forward to that. And yeah, guys, we'll be back on Tuesday. It's free agency week, so we'll be talking free agency for every episode. So. Look forward to that and have a great shortened night because of spring forward. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll talk to you later.
Have a good night, y'all.
Bye-bye.